Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Alright, so I am at work. We are going to be doing a couple of strength training modalities today. I've got a band and a ball. So for your band, if you have one like this that's the tubing with the handles, you can use that. If you have the flat style that comes from, if you've been to a physical therapist, you can also use that. You don't necessarily have to have the handles. They're nice to have, but not mandatory, so use whatever you have. I also have a ball. Now, this is, you can go to the toy section of a store and just get any kind of inflatable ball. This is a little bit bigger than the one I normally use, but this is the one that I have available. So go ahead and grab whatever you have. And of course, you want to make sure that you have water available so that we stay hydrated. Very, very important. We are going to be chair-based today, so make sure that you do have your sturdy, comfortable chair, no wheels, no armrests. Make sure it's not going to move on you. And then, as always, ensure that your workout area is free of any clutter, any tripping hazards, comfortable shoes, sturdy, supportive shoes, so that you're safe with everything. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and have a seat. All right, so we're going to begin with the band exercises today. So go ahead and put your ball aside for right now. And I may have to go adjust the music a little bit here and there. Hold on, be right back. We've got some ads, unfortunately, so I might have to keep doing that periodically. But I wanted to put on some nice jazz music for you today. All right. Let's get going. Okay, so our first one is going to be pull aparts with the band. Go ahead and if you have the handles, you can grab the handles and then an extra loop of band. If you don't have the handles, just go ahead and shorten it up. Bunch up the extra length of band. The first one we're going to do is just pulling that band apart. Now, if you don't have this equipment available to you, remember, as always, I have plenty of exercise videos with strength training. You can use hand weights, water bottles, soup cans, bags of pet food, whatever you have available. You can do strength training like that. I think this is going to be video number 80, 80. Is that crazy or what? But remember, we also have the option to do any of those other videos. They're still on my YouTube channel. So we've got cardio, we've got the strength training, we've got stretching, meditation, yoga, balance, all of those, okay? Now I'm starting to lean back. You see this? So as I'm pulling apart, bringing my shoulder blades together, I'm also leaning back. What I'm doing is starting to use my abs a little bit more. So I'm not resting against the back of the chair. I'm keeping my back lengthened out. Last one. All right, take a little break there. Let those shoulders relax. But our primary mover is going to be the upper back. So if you weren't feeling the upper back, we're going to do another set, pulling down a little bit higher. That'll give you a chance to do that. If you're all the way back in your chair, go ahead and move forward a little bit. Bring your band up high. This time we are definitely going to add the lean back as we pull down. And you're bringing those shoulder blades in towards each other as you pull your band apart. Don't forget to breathe though. Don't concentrate so hard that you end up holding your breath. Very important to keep breathing. Keep the neck relaxed, the jaw relaxed. And of course, before I forget, as always, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like the video if you liked it. This is for YouTube and of course Facebook. Again, like and follow, help the algorithm. Love to get a few more subscribers. Last one of these. Good job. All right. So we've got that upper body all nice and warmed up. You're going to move even forward in your chair. We're going to put the coat on. Take the coat off. Now, when I'm recording this, it is about to be several days of over 100 degrees. So you're not going to need your coat for a long time, but you are going to need it eventually. So this is shoulder mobility. Please be careful that you're not wrapping the band around your neck. Go ahead and change direction, and if for any reason your shoulders do not like this much mobility, feel free to just circle the band right in front of your body and not come around behind. Oh, that ball wants to come back and see me already. All right, good job with that. Let's go ahead and bring the band around behind the back now. So it's going to be about mid-back and under your arms. Then we're going to shorten it up again. So again, whether you have handles or not, go ahead and shorten it up. It is under your arms. You're still sitting up nice and tall, abs engaged, and we're pushing forward and releasing. Exhale, inhale. Keep breathing through it. Now, if this is super easy, go ahead and shorten your band. You can always shorten or lengthen your band to adjust the difficulty. Good. Last one. All right, now we're going to keep the band behind the back, but go over the arms. All right, so we're going to flip it over, give yourself a little bit more length there, and then bring it together at the front. So we're doing a fly movement now. I know it can rub on the arms. Do the best that you can with keeping that so it's not causing discomfort for you. There's not really a good way around it, unfortunately. Good. Open, close it again. Adjust your band if you need a little bit more tension. Shortening it up is going to create more tension. Keep breathing through it. Good. One more. All right, let's go ahead and bring that band back to the front and rotator cuff. Now, if you have multiple different bands here, and I'll talk about this a little bit more about the size of the band or the difficulty of the band. If you have multiple ones, you might find that you use different ones for different body parts, okay? So for example, here we're doing rotator cuff, which are very small muscles in the shoulder area. And so you might want a lighter band here. But the most important thing with the rotator cuff is that you keep the upper arms locked in by the body no matter how far you're able to pull out. If you can shorten up, great. If that's a little bit too much, go out wider. But we don't want to lift the elbows away from the body. That's very, very important for working the rotator cuff. Now, as far as the thickness of the bands, depending on the brand, generally yellow and green is the easiest, red is medium, and blue or purple is the hardest. However, there are a few brands that doesn't apply to. So you also want to look at, if you have the tube band, you want to look at the thickness of the band. With the flat bands, sometimes you'll get yellow and orange and silver and gold. So you just kind of have to pull on it and see how difficult it is, if that makes sense. Just try some different ones. They will be thicker or less thick as well. All right, so let's go ahead and bring the band under the feet now. When we bring it under the feet, we want to be very careful that we have it secure. So get your ends of your band even, and then make sure that you have it under your arches, toes down, heels down, so that you don't end up getting snapped by your band. That is very important. All right, then once you have done that, go ahead and shorten it. Grab the handles closer to your feet. Bring your shoulder blades together. Good. So now we're using lower back. We want to keep the upper back engaged, but we're using the lower back. So keeping that spine lengthened. Keep breathing through it. Make sure that you don't lift your toes up. Very, very important. We don't want you getting snapped in the nose. And again, you can shorten it up if you're not getting a lot of resistance here, or you can lengthen it out if you need a little bit more slack. Think about using the lower back here. There's going to be some abs as well. It's a core exercise. Good. Nice. One more of those. Okay, let's go ahead and crisscross our handles from here crisscross. All right, so if you don't have handles, again, you can still crisscross. Just gather up that extra length of it, and we're gonna do the tap out and in, out, and in. So we're thinking about the movement coming from the outer glute, outer thigh. We don't want to scoot around in the chair. Just tap out as wide as you can without having to scoot around in your chair. Outer glute, outer thigh, those stabilizer muscles. We're going to get to some standing option exercises here in a little bit. These are very, very important. Anytime that you're on one foot, even if that's just while you're walking or climbing stairs or hiking, you're going to use those stabilizer muscles. They're going to keep you from falling over and help you balance. Last set. All right, from here, let's go into our bicep curls. So we're going to uncross, but we're going to make sure that we still have the feet down on the band. Let me check on the music here. I'm not hearing anything. Okay, we had another ad there. That's what happened. All right. Sorry for the interruption there. In order to get royalty free, I couldn't get commercial free. All right, so biceps, you're going to make sure that your feet are still secured on your band. You can either be right here. If this is too easy, again, you can shorten it up just like before. Yep. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of a lean back. You don't have to do the sit-ups like we were doing before, but we're challenging the abs a bit here. Just leaning back without resting against the back of the chair. Nice, strong biceps. You're just going to come down about 3/4 of the way. Keep breathing through it. Keep the back lengthened, shoulders down away from the ears. Good. All right. So moving on to a little bit more shoulder work here. We're going to do a lateral raise. So keep those feet secured on your band. Now when I say a lateral raise, most people are more comfortable with a 45-degree angle. You're not going to get a real big range of motion here. This is a challenge one. If you need to modify, you can just have one foot on your band instead of both feet. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can shorten up that band again, but we're going for the outer part of the shoulders here. And again, you're not going to need to lift it really high. Good. Last two. You were very good. All right, great job. Go ahead and put that band aside. Let's take a quick little water break here, and then we're going to move on to the ball next. All right, so starting with the lower body, first one we're going to do is the inner thigh squeeze. So we want to sit up super tall. We're engaging inner thigh and pelvic floor. Big squeeze and release. So trying to focus on using those muscles. Good posture. Squeeze, release. Now we can go ahead and pick up that tempo a little bit without losing our form. So we're still engaging, tightening up the pelvic floor, keeping the abs engaged, but the big one we're working on here is inner thigh. Adductors, we call those. Squeeze. Squeeze, two more. All right, from here we are going to go ahead and put this down between the feet. Slide back in your chair. Please hang on to your chair. Grab the ball between the feet. Give it a little squeeze. You get to see the bottom of my shoes here. Now we're flexing the quadriceps. We're using those quadriceps to lift the legs. We got to be a little bit of hip flexor there. Keep it good, secure, stable on that ball. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me go ahead and turn that music down just a little bit. This one's a bit loud, so we're going to turn it down a little bit. All right, so moving on to our chest press here. So heels of the hands pressing in this time. You're going to start with it in close to your body and really press. We want to feel those That's it. Really squeeze it. Now try extending out and squeeze it. So you squeeze when it's in, you squeeze when it's out. It's going to feel a little bit harder. See if you can still get that squeeze in there. Good. Nice. Last set. All right, while the arms are extended, see if you can rotate your ball and cross your lower arms. Can you do it? All right, next one is fingertips. So we're just going to do a great big squeeze with all of them. Now what are we working on here? The strength of the hands and the wrists and the forearms. So, of course, if you have arthritis and this is painful, let off, okay? Don't force yourself into pain. But if you're able to do it, do as much as you can to strengthen those hands, wrists, and forearms. You get rid of that commercial, keep going, keep going. There we go. Keep squeezing, just a couple more. All right, now we're gonna do our hand-eye coordination, which is the toss and catch the ball. Now I know this is going out of camera, but you get the idea. See if you can add a clap before you catch your ball. You can throw it as high as you want. Try a double clap. Can you do a double clap? Woo! Almost lost that one. Can you believe this is video number 80? I started at the beginning of the pandemic. I cannot believe how many of these we have now. This is crazy. I was going to start with 10. That was it. And it just kept going. Last one. Of course, now that I'm back to work, I don't have quite as much time, but we'll still get them out to you regularly. All right, so go ahead and finger walk the ball around your waist using just your fingertips. Again, this is just hand dexterity. That's all that is. And go the other way. Again, just using the fingertips. Scoop forward in your chair if you're bumping into the back of your chair. And then we're going to go back to lower body here in a moment. How you feeling? You feeling okay? All right, go ahead and bring it back between the legs. We're going to go a little bit higher with it this time, and I'm going to give you the option to stand all the way up and sit all the way back down, but I will also show you the modifications. I'm going to scoot my chair back a little bit so that my head hopefully stays in the frame. All right, so you're going to give that ball a big squeeze before you come up. Nope, still slightly out of the frame, but again, you get the idea. All right, so this is the full stand-up, sit-down. If your knees don't like that much range of motion, you're gonna start at the top and do a partial. So doing a partial is completely fine. Yep. But any range of motion that works for you. So you wanna stay in pain-free range of motion. Again, if you're okay with the full sit-down, stand-up, do that. Otherwise, the modification, all right? Just a couple more. Good job. All right, grab that ball, come around behind your chair. Let's get a quick sip of water. And then we'll come do some exercises behind the chair. Now, if for any reason you don't want to do standing exercises, you're getting a little fatigued, or it's a bit too challenging for you, you can always go back to the chair and either do the chair variation on this or just repeat some of our earlier exercises. I'm going to put the ball back between the legs. It's not mandatory for this one. I'm doing heel raise, toe raise. So I do have the chair there for balance. If you want to just do it next to a wall, you can. But the point is to get as much ankle mobility here as possible. Heel raise, toe raise. Good. Yup. Good. Nice. Last set. Good. All right, keep that ball right there, and we're just going to do some when we do these, we want to sit back in the heels, squeeze those glutes, engage those abs, keep the chest up, shoulders back, chin up, okay? Make sure that you're not looking down at the floor. Last one. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and come around to the side of the chair. And we're going to do a few things here. Again, if you prefer to stay seated, please feel free to do that. Absolutely work at your own level. I'm going to start with a side crunch, all right? I know that we do this sometimes in cardio. You do have the option to use your chair or your wall to balance. We're working on this outer oblique here. So it's not about the arm and the leg, it's about the waistline. Keep breathing through it. Good. 2 more. Excellent. All right. Now, drinking bird is what I call this. All it is a single leg deadlift. Now, you just have the weight of the ball. You're standing on the inside leg. So the leg that's closest to the chair or the wall. The opposite hand is reaching the ball down towards your foot. You're squeezing the glute. Come all the way up. Bring your knee up. Press your ball up. Hip hinge forward. Little teeny knee bend on that standing leg. All the way back up to vertical. You'll notice I'm extending the other leg back behind. Good. Last one. Excellent. All right. Shake that leg out before we switch to the other side. We are going to do some circles with that outer leg. Now, if you can balance, go ahead. If you need to hold onto the chair, you could do that. Circle the other way. You don't have to do anything with your ball right now. Or maybe just throw it away. Now I have to go get it. Dang it. It rolled far away. And it's not coming back. All right, everybody, go ahead and shake out those legs. I'm going to retrieve my ball, and I'll be right back to do the other side. All right, so switching to the other side. Again, your standing leg is the inside foot, and we're going to start with that side crunch. So remember, it's about the waistline here. It is about the waistline. It's not about the arm and the leg. It's about your core. Keep breathing through it. If your balance is awesome, you don't have to hold on to the chair or the wall. Just a couple more of these. Okay, moving into our drinking bird here. We're still standing on that inside leg. That is our standing leg. Ball is in the opposite hand, reaching it towards the toes as you kick the other leg back behind. Come all the way up, knee comes through, lift the knee, press the ball up overhead. I call this drinking bird because it reminds me of those lawn ornaments of the little bird that tips forward and up. Good. Nice job. Just one more. I know these are a challenge. Balance as best as you can. Excellent. All right. Why don't you shake those legs out for a moment? Then we're going to go into the leg circles. You don't have to do anything with the ball for this one. You're just standing on that inside leg, working on that outer glute and the glute max also. Good. Change direction. More. All right, great work. Shake those legs out. Let me just get rid of this commercial. And we're going to come back to the chair. Go ahead and hydrate if you haven't done that in a little bit. And we're going to finish with, let me see, how's our time here? Okay, looking great. Perfect. Hydrate, hydrate. We're going to finish with a little bit more abs here. And again, remember that I have lots of stretching videos, flexibility, mobility, balance, yoga, meditation. So feel free to include these other modalities throughout your week, or You can go for a walk outside if it's not too hot. Now, what I'm doing here, just a little bonus ab work. You can add the rotation if you're okay with that. You can add the leg lift if you're okay with that. If not, you can just bring the ball up and down. You're still doing a seated crunch. I am leaning back a little bit without resting against my chair. Again, you can go right here. Even this is going to give you ab work. Okay? But if you feel okay with the leg lift, tapping it to the knee, or adding the rotation, a little bit more waistline work. Last two. All right, excellent job. Okay, we're gonna do just a couple of stretches here to finish off with. So, great big reach up, lengthen the spine, stretch your back, lean to one side, lean to the other side. Again, please check out some of the other modalities, work those in throughout your week to get all of your different types of exercise in, or get outside, walk, bike, swim, whatever you like to do. Go for a hike. Okay, stretch the legs forward. Go ahead and reach for your toes. This is to stretch your calves and your hamstrings. So bend your knees as much as you need to be able to reach your toes. It's okay to bend your knees. You want to lift those toes up and then bring the chest down. Relax your back, relax your neck. Okay, slowly come back up and just roll the shoulder, almost at ankles, just roll the shoulders out. Wrong joint. And relax the shoulders down. Then we're going to go loosely side to side. And then come back to center for final stretch. Sit up super tall. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Open the chest. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome job, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for helping me make it all the way this far. And we're going to keep it going. I am going to be going on vacation. If you made it to the end of the video, I'll tell you now. I'm going to be going on vacation, so there's going to be a little production lapse there for a couple of weeks. But as soon as I can get back to it, I promise that I will. In the meantime, you have lots and lots and lots of videos to check out. Go back and watch some of the old ones if you've already seen them all. Plenty to choose from, and thank you again for hanging out with me today all the way to the end. Thank you for exercising with me today. Again, please subscribe, like, follow, all of that good stuff. It does help the algorithm get the video out for more people. Stay cool. If you're coming into that heat wave that we have coming up this weekend, please stay cool, stay hydrated, do your very best on that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.